The X-Files may have wrapped up its long run back in 2018, but the possibility of a revival never seems to die. Fans continue to hold on to hope that one day Mulder and Scully will reunite on screen, chasing down the unexplainable mysteries that made the show a cultural phenomenon. But what is the man behind Fox Mulder himself, David Duchovny, think about all this talk of a comeback? Well, Duchovny recently opened up in an interview, and his response is both realistic and surprisingly optimistic. Let's break it down. When asked about a potential reunion, Duchovny was quick to clarify that nothing is currently happening. In his words, "I've got nothing. I'd be the first to tell you if I had anything, but I don't." Not exactly the news fans were hoping for, but it's also refreshingly honest. He isn't dangling false promises or fueling hype where there's none. But here's the part that really stands out. Duchovny added that he has no hard feelings toward the show, the role, or the people he worked with. In fact, he still loves it. He said that if the right opportunity came along, with the right timing and conditions, he wouldn't say no to returning as Mulder. Of course, Duchovny also acknowledged the reality of the situation. Time isn't on their side. He admitted that everyone involved isn't getting any younger, which makes a reunion more complicated as the years pass. That kind of honesty highlights the bittersweet truth about long-running franchises. Fans want them to go on forever, but the actors and creators eventually have to weigh age, health, and timing against ambition. Still, the fact that Duchovny hasn't shut the door entirely is enough to keep hope alive. He clearly has a fondness for the role that defined much of his career, and it sounds like if all the puzzle pieces came together, he'd be ready to jump back in. For context, The X-Files originally aired in 1993 and went on for 9 straight seasons before ending in 2002. But that wasn't the end. The show made a shocking return in 2016 with a 10th season, followed by an 11th in 2018. On top of that, there have been 2 feature films and even spin-off projects, all of which helped expand the franchise's mythos. The show's mix of paranormal storytelling, government conspiracy, and character-driven drama cemented it as one of television's most influential series. It also built a devoted fanbase that stayed loyal for decades, which explains why the revival conversation never fully goes away. At the moment, there's no official movement from 20th Century Studios about bringing the show back. No green lights, no scripts in the works, at least not publicly. But Duchovny's openness means the possibility is still very much alive. In the world of entertainment, revivals have become more common than ever, and The X-Files has a history of surprising returns. Whether it happens or not will depend on timing, interest, and whether the cast and crew can recapture the magic in a way that feels authentic. After all, no one wants a half-hearted attempt that tarnishes the legacy. So here's where fans are left, with no official plans, but also with no doors closed. Duchovny himself may not have news, but he does have willingness. And sometimes that's all it takes to spark real conversations behind the scenes. What do you think? Should The X-Files make another comeback, or should it rest where it left off in 2018? And if it does return, do you want it to pick up the old story or take a completely fresh direction?